We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Miami Dolphins wide receiver Craycraft, and he's just like that perfect, reliable depth receiver in this offense. He understands it so well. Coming from San Francisco, he obviously has a lot of experience in it, and he just gets to his spots. He's very reliable, understands exactly where he's supposed to be, understands the timing of everything. And he had a really good rapport with Tua as well. Obviously, he played limited snaps as that depth receiver, but when he was in the game, I felt comfortable. Usually when you have like a backup in like that, you're not feeling as good about the offense, but he knew exactly where to be. And just a reliable route runner as well. He's a smart player, reliable hands, working over the middle of the field, has a fearlessness to him. He plays with toughness. He's not the biggest guy, but he made some pretty tough grabs throughout the year. And I think, he's not a guarantee to make the roster, but I think I feel like the coaching staff really likes him. He has a really solid chance of making it because they're all very comfortable. They know what he can do. He's like that perfect wide receiver 5/6 in this offense. Just a pretty solid player for this team. Made a lot of, big time plays when it mattered. And him and Tua clearly had, the same idea of what they're supposed to be doing with timing and getting him the ball in tight, zone windows, sitting things down. And he has, the ball skills to hang on to a lot of these things. Even, for a smaller guy, a lot of these guys struggle usually with their ball skills, but he hangs on to pretty much everything thrown his way. Love his fit for this offense. We'll break down this play a little more slowly, him working over the middle of the field and just sort of sitting down and just finding the soft spot versus the zone. Don't want to, float into Fred Warner. So he starts sitting this down. He's seeing Tua getting a little bit pressured. Tua is going to let it rip a second earlier, but he holds onto it to step up in the pocket, then lets it go. And look at Craycraft, smart player, just getting back to this ball, attacking it so this linebacker has no chance. Fred Warner to make a play on it. And getting over the middle of the field, tough work. Like coming back towards this can be pretty scary, especially with a linebacker right next to you. You're expecting to take a hit. He does a good job of, sinking those hips too. He's a pretty athletic guy, very quick, not like a super explosive, speed type, long downfield threat, but he has like nice quickness, change of direction skills, and then just really smart play to come back and attack that to pick up this first down over the middle of the field. Here he is, same page with Tua again. They go into, that seam rail slide RPO that they ran all season long, and clearly he understood exactly what he was supposed to do on his assignment here. He has a lot of freedom here as this route runner. He can either, glance this to the inside, just quickly run down the seam, and he sees this guy bring the pressure. He's got this outside leverage here, and he knows the linebackers to the inside, so he quickly just takes like 1-2 steps and gets his head around. For Tua to throw it to him, he's ready for a back shoulder to get thrown away from the linebacker who's the closest to him, and he makes a nice adjustment, nice body control in the air. You can see him attack the ball at the highest points, very soft hands, fluid hips to make these controlled catches in the air and pick up a nice first down, and working where he might take another big hit, and he's willing to put his body on the line, but he avoids it. So another, exceptional play, just being on the same page with Tua. I think that's like the most important thing when you are, a depth receiver coming in and just understanding where you're supposed to be, understanding those little details. That's how you make the team. This Texans game was probably his best game of the year. He just kept getting targeted a bunch, like back-to-back plays I'll show here, where he just gets opportunities. Just working in these RPOs, he really understood what he was supposed to be doing. They bumped down on the motion, and he gets, this outside, overhang defender coming towards him, and he just, squares him up, split release look here, get to the inside, and then he opens up, avoids those hands, and right as he passes him, he gets his head around, knowing Tua throws with a lot of anticipation, timing. He's going to get this ball out to fit this into this tight window, and he's able to catch it. Working over the middle of the field, he catches it with his hands away from his frame. This is impressive work. Doesn't know. He could easily take a big hit from his safety there, but he's willing to put, his body out there. But he stays on his feet, picks up, nice 11 yards on his 2nd and 10, picking up that first down by just beating, the release with a nice release and then understanding exactly where he was supposed to be. And then the very next play that he's in the game, he just gets in there, recognizes the coverage right away, understands exactly what the defenses are trying to do. Love this work from him. He's seeing press pre-snap, so he's trying to, give a little move off the line of scrimmage, but nothing too, hard here. But they rotate into this cover too. He gives that hard stab to the outside to create this room to the inside, avoids the reroutes. He does a good job, getting that hand to the back of the elbow as well. Great hand fighting. He's seeing this linebacker who's like the hook curl guy flowing hard to the outside to get to the running back here. So he just starts to sit down immediately, but float away, from the inside or the outside cornerback, and just sits down. Him and Tua on the same page again. He catches it, and look how he sort of transitions his hips up the field so he can instantly It's great anticipation, great transition work to get up the field right away after the catch. He knew he had all that space to the inside, so he positioned himself perfectly. Just another high IQ play. Watching his game is actually pretty fun because he's got like a little nuanced player and doesn't, play a whole ton of snaps. So in his snaps, he definitely made the most of it, and he has a very subtlety to his game that, you don't always notice on first watch, but when you really study, he understands exactly what he's supposed to be doing. We got Craycraft here on the outside, working on this dig route versus cover 4. And this throw from Tua is one of Tua's best throws of the year. I still like the confidence he had to make this throw. I can't believe he actually bulleted this in here. But this is, one of Tua's hardest throws of the year. He understands he's going to take a hit here, and he hangs on to this through contact, making this contested catch while being hit with multiple guys around you in the end zone. Just really, really exceptional work from Craycraft to hang on to this. We'll watch from the other angle how he just rips in here. He doesn't do anything too crazy in the route, but just being, that reliable option. He clearly has a lot of trust in you. Hits him right in the chest, and he hangs on to it in that area. Great play from Craycraft. Love the finish from him, but really that's just an exceptional play from Tua, and he just helped him out, didn't let him down in the red zone. Just a reliable player, like I've been saying. Craycraft right here, the number 2, to the 3-by-1 side. He scored one of the touchdowns in this, 6-touchdown Ravens game. Just sticking with it. Nice work to scramble with your quarterback. Very aware player. Another reliable type of play. I also like his beginning of this play, running this, return route over here. Really excellent work. He does a good job with his footwork, setting things up. You see he squares up these defenders. Quick feet, foot fire, hard stab to the inside, back to the outside, and then able to sink those hips to change directions. He's an excellent route runner. He doesn't, I feel like a lot of the, Miami Dolphins receivers are excellent route runners. They don't always get to show it in the offense because they're usually, you just have to get to your spot. But when you get your chance one-on-one, man-to-man, they actually usually make themselves look pretty good. And he creates natural separation and then just sticks with Tua, gets to the end zone, scores another not another touchdown for Tua in this game. He had 6. But Craycraft getting involved, making big plays, especially earlier in the season. He was just a huge part of, coming in and just understanding the offense. And I think he could still be that, playing, about 200 snaps. Those things get overlooked for most teams. But if you have a reliable guy like this, it, helps the offense function throughout a game pretty evenly, even when your starters need a break. Craycraft at the bottom of the screen doesn't get targeted here, but I do like this route. Getting up to your stem and then just getting in out of your break with such efficiency. He does a really good job with his foot fire and just how quick he is. He attacks up, doesn't waste any time, hard upfield, sell the vertical, and then he hard sinks those hips and just instantly gets out. You can see the lower body flexion fluidity. Just keeps these DBs on his toe, and if the ball's, not being thrown to the opposite side of the field because, it's the quick flat to angled, Craycraft gets an opportunity to work there. Just a nice route to see out of him. We got Craycraft right here at the bottom of the screen. Now, this might not seem like much, but this is just understanding route details, exactly what you are supposed to be doing. He helps create this play to Sherfield. So it's a 2nd and 10 situation. They end up getting 23 yards on this play. And this defender out here is a cover 2 flat defender. And a lot of times when, this guy's playing hard outside leverage right here, and they're already pretty far to the outside near the sideline, a lot of times receivers will get lazy and break to the inside. And by doing this, it allows the corner to still keep his eyes to the inside. He doesn't get as widened out here. But Craycraft does a great job working through the contact, going to the outside, pulling this corner with him, and then making him flip his hips away. So he has no chance to get over and help to the number 2 to the right there, because that would be his responsibility. But Craycraft, just by taking the wide outside release, he creates that space, understanding exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And he goes even and looks for a block too. So love the competitive toughness that he plays with. Those little things don't go unnoticed by the coaching staff. Very, very good stuff from Craycraft. I think after going back and watching the film, one of the more surprising things was how good of a blocker he was. They used him, as crackback guy to take down defensive ends, but just blocking out in space. I'm going to show some preseason film, and just the blocking that he shows is absolutely outstanding. He's a very good blocker. Him and Sherfield were both great blockers. They helped the running game. You can see that they're both in on this play. This is the 4th and 5 run play that they did the pitch to Jeff Wilson, and he has a big responsibility here to chip down, take out the defensive end. He does a great job getting active. Just, I think, one of the better run blocking receivers in the NFL, and that does a great job of obviously helping you get a roster spot. Here we got him versus Trey White, actually, one of the better corners in the NFL versus the Bills. And he draws the PI, just mixing things up, showing multiple different looks. He gets the hold right at the top of the route right there. But just good job getting him to, open up, keeping him uncomfortable. This is where you don't have the foot fire here. You're to the inside, and then you go back to the outside right here, just making him open up multiple different ways. Keeps DBs on their toes, and he does it very quickly too. He stays square, hard step to the outside, jab back to the inside, and then get over the top. And then once he's about to get to the top of his route and make a route break, Trey White is in a position where he's holding him, and he ends up pulling on this and getting the PI call when your 5th or 6th wide receiver is getting multiple flags thrown because against the other team's number 1 corner, they're doing something right. We got Craycraft right here. We're in the preseason. Look how he's able to get down and cut off this safety right here, like getting himself in positioning. If everything else is blocked a little bit better up front, like this is an impressive play. Like he's off the screen here, and he's able to get down and cut off 33 and position his hips, just getting low. Flip your hips around, and now you're completely cutting this off. So if this gets blocked, a little bit better up front where, offensive linemen don't mess up their responsibilities here. Running back has a nice lane to work off right off the back of the receiver from where he was aligned pre-snap. This is such an impressive play to get this block, and then he sticks with it. He does a great job maintaining. There were so many, I didn't want to show a bunch of plays of him run blocking, but there's so many plays of him just being consistent, play after play, consistent run blocking. Love that he can bring that to this team. His first play in this game versus the Eagles in the preseason, he just scored a touchdown. Great job creating that space just from his first inside release. Him and Tua on the same page again. But you can tell just from his alignment, hard stab to the inside like they're facing cover 1. This guy's got outside leverage this corner. You can see he gets him to float. And then as soon as, he's taking that step to the inside, he re-stems vertically, attacks that leverage, and now he's just instantly one to the outside by creating natural separation by taking a hard release to the inside. Great work there. Another fun play here from Craycraft. Deep comeback down the field. Hard sell vertical. He does a great job at this. Everything in the Dolphins offense, you have to be able to sell vertical. Make everything look like it's going to be vertical. Even your vertical routes, you just hard commit, drop, that pad level. Make this look like you're going to go deep. And then sink, go through, the contact here. Nice, which is nice to see. You can see he gets through it pretty nicely. He's got some nice core strength there. And then makes this catch. Body control in air. He has that nice in air athleticism to hang on to this, and even stays in bounds to get upfield, pick up 2 extra yards after the catch. Most guys are going to go out of bounds there right away, not hang on to this, but Craycraft does another excellent job. He was one of the better players on this offense in the preseason. Last play that I'm going to break down, he just got to work more down the field, I would say. More options more targets down the field against, in the preseason than he did in the regular season. In the regular season, he would run down the field, but a lot of times he was just clearing things out, being that sort of decoy, just not getting the targets. But this is a good job, versus that press, hard releasing to the inside, and then once get into a good position, make the DBs run into each other, defenders, he just gets over the top. Now, when you're over the top like this, you want to stack him, get exactly over the top, which gives yourself a 2-way go. See how he re-stems this up vertically, and then gives that hard jab to the inside right there, which then gives him a nice little open space to the outside. He catches it away from his body again. He has very strong hands, very smooth. He catches everything very nicely. He has some good field awareness, stay in bounds. Excellent deep route there to gain 20 yards down the field. Just such a reliable option for this offense. Can do so many different things. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.